you do work with the corporate world, let's say also. So what did you find so far working with, different organizations, different people?
So honestly, my mindset, I don't really go there as a corporate trainer. I just go there as an authentic human being, meeting other authentic human beings. And I want to create a different atmosphere. I don't want this to just be, okay, this is a leadership program and this is, the next motivational seminar. I want this to be a real space. Because I think what's really missing in corporate life and culture is sometimes we're not bringing our whole self. We're bringing our professional selves, which is a part of our whole selves. But we don't, for example, often bring our vulnerabilities. And when that happens, everyone's wearing a mask. And when everyone's wearing a mask, it's quite tiring. Imagine wearing a mask all day long. You're going to be sweating behind that. You're going to be uncomfortable behind that. I sometimes speak to these airline representatives, the stewards in the airline. They say, do you get tired of smiling? Yeah, I get really tired of smiling. All day long I'm smiling. I don't feel like smiling. All day long I'm smiling. So it's hard for them. Sometimes, imagine customers are coming and they're getting upset about things and you're dealing with like 200 passengers every flight. That's a lot of passengers. That's a lot of people to be smiling at all the time. So I think we need to allow ourselves at least some time to be just authentic, just to be. And I think the gift that I bring, at least that's my intention, to these spaces is, can we be more authentic? Can we start showing more of our true self? What's really going on in our lives? Both what gives us joy and what we're sometimes afraid of and we struggle with. I had a retreat with women leaders and I asked them to talk about what gives them joy in their life, but also talk about the place in their life they're feeling really stuck. And this is the first time in a corporate setting where they've gone ahead and shared where they're really feeling stuck, where they're really feeling challenged. And we began the retreat with that. And because everyone went around, you know what happens when one person shares? It creates an atmosphere in the room where other people, oh, that person shared that. I can perhaps also share. I never thought I could share this, but maybe I can. Mm-hmm. And when they share it, that was one of the most powerful retreats. In just 3 days, those women leaders are still in touch with each other. And you can't imagine the kind of connection that got created just because not only did we share how great we are and how well things are going, but also where we struggle. And it led to a shift in the organizational culture. It led to a shift, and these women, because often women also, we know this, they sometimes feel isolated, because not always corporate culture is not always understanding of the needs of women. They just expect them to just be like everybody else. This was really, really helpful and supportive. So that's my intention, creating spaces of authenticity.
And going to that question, or to your answer, I want to check something, because if I'm, let's say, and I'm a business leader too, so one of the things I would ask you is, okay, but Nithya, how is it? These are people with customer, they should be, smiling to people, because that's the job. So how do we integrate those two? The authenticity and at the same time, the need for do the work in a customer-centric way.
I don't think I have a quick and easy answer for that, but I think for me the answer is less about the behavior and more about the inner state one is in, the inner attitude one is in. Right? And one of my favorite stories of all time is the story of my friend who sells t-shirts. He has a t-shirt manufacturing business. And he said he went to a party and he met a person who he really admires. And he shook his hands and said, "Sir, you don't know me, but I really admire you. You're one of the best in the textile industry. Can you give me some tips to be better myself?" So he smiled at him and said, "I'll not give you tips. I'll give you the main reason for my success. But don't ask me why it works." He said, "All right, tell me." So the man said, "Every morning I sit for 15 minutes and I contemplate the deepest pain of my customers. And that one practice has changed everything. And that's the real reason for my success. But don't ask me why it works." And he's shocked. He was expecting some business advice and he got this kind of advice. And he said to me that he actually began practicing. Every morning he'd sit for 15 minutes and he'd think, what are the challenges my customers face? And as he did that, something shifted. Instead of what can I get from my customers, why don't they pay me well, why don't they pay me on time, why are they asking for discounts? His whole attitude shifted. And instead of focusing on the business, the shift came to human connection. And not only external customers, internal customers, the people who worked for him. And he said that a huge change happened in his own approach. See, outwardly the behavior is the same. You're having meetings and you're having negotiations, but the inner attitude changed. So now, maybe you still have to smile, but can you have a shift in the inner attitude? For example, if I'm in the airline and I just say that everyone who enters the plane today, may they really have a happy day. I wish them a really happy day. And I'm going to look into their eyes and I'm going to smile. That attitude will change everything. And instead of feeling tired at the end of smiling to 200 people, you actually feel energized because you had the attitude of wishing well.
So in a way what I'm hearing from you is not about the smile, it's where that smile comes from. And the energy in which that smile comes from. So it's not a smile out of a this is what I should be doing, but this is what I wish.
It's a smile from the heart, and we all know, right, that when you genuinely smile, your eyes smile. It's not just your face smiling.